Hello, and welcome to Our Ventura TV. My name is Felipe Correa, and I have a very good friend of mine here today, Cheryl Carrington, who is going to be talking with me, and we're going to discuss this thing about diets. So, welcome, Cheryl.
Thank you for having me.
And my first question is, why is everybody nowadays so interested, and why are there so many diets out there? What's this thing about dieting?
Well, let me ask you a question. What does it mean to you when you say diet?
I mean a way that people are looking to do something so that they can eat either without gaining weight or losing weight. It has to do with, people feel they need to shed some pounds.
Okay. Well, first of all, let me clarify that I make, this is a disclaimer, that I have no, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a nutritionist. I'm purely coming from an experience that I've had in my life. And I've done many, many, many different diets.
Okay.
And many different lifestyles. So, but dieting, when you say that, when I think of dieting, I think of what am I putting into my body? What is it that my body needs, instead of, because the diet industry is huge. If I read this this morning, if every woman in the world decided to love their bodies and stop this craziness of dieting and just ate what was in season, it would fold up the diet industry.
Wow.
Because it's mega bucks out there for the diet industry, as well as other people that support it.
Okay. Okay. So, if we could provide some tips to our viewers on how to decide what kind of diet they want to do if they are concerned about losing weight, or what kind of diet they want to do if they're concerned about improving the overall health of the body via nutrition. What would some pointers be, some 4 or 5 pointers on how to decide that?
Well, I can only speak from experience, and I'm going to tell you my experience with it. Like I said, I've done every diet known to man and God. And what I finally decided for my body is to eat seasonally, meaning you eat warm things in the winter, and you eat cool things in the summer.
Give me an example of a warm thing for winter.
Like a warm soup.
Okay. So you mean hot food or warm food?
I'm talking about warm food, and it's cooked food.
Okay.
I'm also a raw food chef, but you have to listen to your body.
Okay.
And not what a doctor says or what the fad is, because we all go along with fads. I've done it many, many times. And the thing of it is it has to be a lifestyle. It can't be you go on a diet and you lose 50 pounds, let's just say 50 pounds, and then you go right back to your lifestyle that put that 50 pounds on you, because you're going right back into the cycle of that.
I know, I've done it.
We all have done it. We all. So when you asked me that question, what came to mind for me was eat seasonally.
Okay.
And then what I'm talking about whole food. I'm not talking about fast food.
Okay.
I'm talking about organic, GMO-free, hormones-free, pesticides-free, and antibiotic-free. We're going to see more and more of this, because there's so much. I mean, if you really broaden your look at what we've done as Americans, the last 100 years, look how our diet has changed. Incredibly different than 100 years ago. I mean, the mother used to start cooking the soup or the lunch as soon as breakfast was over. And so, but it was whole foods. It was nutritionally dense food. And when I say that, I mean that it doesn't take a huge pile of food. It can be portion control, which also, and slow down the digestive tract, and eat in an environment that is peaceful instead of arguing or debating or, you know, in a peaceful environment. And it also helps the digestion of the food. And so the body can assimilate the nutrition, the minerals and the vitamins that are in the food.
One thing I would like you to touch a little bit more upon, because it's something that personally I've found very interesting, is that here we're used to these humongous portions. There's places where you can go for dinner, and and I'm a good eater sometimes. I can't even finish that. So, but at the same time, if they bring me a portion that it might be the reasonable amount, but if it looks small, there's something that happens inside me that tells me, I'm going to eat this. Yeah, is that it? I'm going to eat this, and I'm still going to be hungry. What is a good way to handle that? You know, what the eye sees is different than what the stomach sees.
Exactly. Well, because of our mind, we've been supersized in every form you can imagine. So automatically the mind goes to supersize. I mean, we've seen documentaries made on it. We've seen movies made on it, and because we've got that program running that we need to see a big pile of food, so I'm going to be nourished. And that's, working with the mind too, and listening to the body when you're eating. Instead of, just inhaling food, really put the fork down, enjoy it. Take a sip of wine, take a sip of water, whatever you're drinking, but really, because we have a relationship with food, just like we have a relationship with everything, our clothes, our environment. And so when you have that healthy relationship with food, then we have a tendency to be more open and listen to when the body is full instead of just cramming it in.
Okay, another thing that I've noticed, and you see it every day, everywhere, is that regardless of the fact that there's, I don't know how many different kinds of diet out there, different types of diet protocols that you can follow. Why is it that some work for some people and don't work for other people? And how can one sort of gauge that? What would you recommend? What's your experience?
First of all, male is different than female. You drop weight when you go to the bathroom. I don't drop weight, like you drop weight. So we've got two different physiologies going too. So I'm only speaking as a woman here.
Okay.
But I've watched you lose weight just like that. Yeah. So, but, and the question again is,
why do some diets work for some people and don't work for others? And what can one do to sort of find a way to where one needs to be in order? I'm not only thinking about shedding off those extra pounds, but also improving your health, or how your feeling of healthiness, if you could call it something.
Well, first of all, you can't generalize a diet. You can't, what works for you is not going to work for me. I don't know. We've done some of that, but you can't generalize it like so-and-so lost 100 pounds on whatever the diet program was. I'm not going to say, but and it may not work for the next person because our chemistry is different.
Okay.
And if the body is healthy and it's not having to repair things as much, if you've got a sick body or a healthy body, you've got two different scenarios going. So you have to and tune into what your body's wanting. It'll tell you it doesn't want that extra piece of bread if you listen. That's
the hard part.
Yeah, well, I didn't say it was easy. But it's easier than we think. We make it harder because our mind thinks it's hard. It's not hard. We just, need to reboot this thing up here as well as reboot the body. because it'll respond to whatever that is right for it, and you'll know it immediately. It's when we sabotage it and we generalize, what worked for you won't work for me, or whatever, vice versa. You can't generalize it. You've got to listen to your body.
I'm getting from you the main message regarding diet and the impact of what we eat in the body is basically listening to the body. And that's something that it's not really easy to do sometimes. So how do you do it?
Okay, give me a scenario when you don't listen to your body.
Well, when you overeat.
Okay, so when you overeat, what's the reaction?
When I overeat, I feel very bad.
Yeah, well, there you go. There's your gauge.
Okay.
There's your gauge. And it's and it happens on a gradient. It's not just boom, you're there, but you have to continue to listen to, if your body's hungry, feed it. If your body's not hungry, don't feed it. It's that simple, regardless if it's 8 o'clock in the morning, if it's noon, or if it's 5 o'clock at night. If it's not hungry, don't feed it.
What about the schedule?
Whose schedule?
I don't know, but some people live on a schedule and they have to eat a certain time of day and stuff like that.
Well, then that's them. How's it working for them?
Well, for some it doesn't.
Yeah. But and everybody has their own path with food. But in getting a healthy relationship with food and really savoring it and enjoying the meal, and instead of just, or arguing at the table or whatever, but in a peaceful environment, and just tune into what your body wants, how much it wants. If it doesn't want anymore, then put it away. Either you put it in your belly and it winds up on your belly, or you throw it in the trash, or you give it to somebody else. It's a very simple, but we've complicated things.
I know.
We've just made life so, and it's not. It's very simple. Very, very simple.
Okay, so could we say that the key to whatever protocol you want to use to manage weight, whether it means that you want to lose it or you want to increase your healthiness, the health of your body, I can see like there's two planes. One has to do with you, how you feel, the environment in which you eat. I'm thinking of all those people that go to the drive-thru and eat while driving on a back bumper-to-bumper freeway. That's got to be not very healthy, regardless of the quality of the food. And then the second plane would be the food. It's true that it's, at least in my experience, you feel better when you have food that's more natural, organic or not, whatever. And when I personally go to anywhere where I get food that has certain chemicals, my body really reacts very bad. So could you say that those are the main two things that we have to take into account when deciding what kind of protocol we're going to follow?
Yeah, we live in a fast food society, though. I mean, it's just very, very. In my own family, I have, I've not, and it's not that I haven't ever done it, because I have. In a hurry, you go through a drive-through, and. But what happens is we get numb to that, and until life comes and says, okay, you've been diagnosed with diabetes, or you've been diagnosed with cancer, then life pushes you to a place where you've got to start looking at your accountability for what you've really done, because we do it to ourselves. Yep. We've been programmed and conditioned to believe things that are not true about food. And it's very easy to, if you're going to be out on the road, grab an apple or an orange or something, a banana, something that's easy to eat.
Or prepare some trip sandwiches.
Trip sandwiches, those work too. And take care of your body, because this is it. This is not a dress rehearsal.
Okay. Okay, Cheryl. Our time is coming up, so I wanted to thank you very much for talking to me today about the importance of, making sure to listen to your body and making sure you eat healthy if you want to control somehow what's going on with your weight or with your health. So I appreciate your knowledge, and I thank you very much for being here with us. And I would like to thank you very much for watching Our Ventura TV. My name is Felipe Correa, and I look forward to seeing you in another show soon.